Thank you so much. So this is a very, very good question. Bob Moss and the Brian Tracy's, Kiyosaki's, I mean, these are people who have written a lot of books, and still the poor are there, and still people. In the early part of my book, I actually put it in a way that this is a book about the many and the few. Like it or not, many of us will dream. More people will dream. Only a few people will realize their dreams. So do I contradict myself when I say that wealth is for everybody? No, I don't. So I put a caveat in the book. Everybody can be rich. Actually, anyone, anywhere can be rich. Yet not everybody will be rich. And the reason why I say this is that not everybody will be willing to pay the price needed. And as a financial expert, where I do a lot of personal wealth management, people come to you and they want you to help them to improve their personal finances. You sit down with them and you put up a 10-year plan, and the 10-year plan looks too long for them. They are looking for a quick fix. So instead of treating the pain, they want morphine to not feel the pain. But if you don't treat the pain and you take morphine all the time, then the pain would always be there. The problem would always be there. This is a book still about the few and the many. This is a book that you read, and in the first 2 weeks, I can assure you, you'll be so high up there and full of confidence and inspiration. But those that will get to the end are those that when that inspiration is no more, they will still have the discipline to go through till the end. And I talk about this in the third block of the Pentagon model. In this third block, I talk about wealth management, and one key component of it is discipline. This is something I can assure you. The material in this book is good. The content is life-changing. But the reality still falls on the reader to apply the knowledge that has been given. Is there any business that is profitable that has no associated risk to it? Definitely. What am I trying to say? This book is not another book by another wealth guru. This is a book that makes complex things simple. This is a book that is a guide for your entire journey of what. A fantastic question. No, initially this book was supposed to be 5 books. So when I first wrote the book, there were 5 separate books that were supposed to have run in a series, targeting also different people at different stages of their life. And then I realized that no, everybody needs the book, even no matter what stage of their life they are. How do you build wealth? Anybody who stops generating wealth, no matter how rich they are, anybody who stops building wealth, they still have that propensity of having themselves, first generation, second generation, or third generation becoming poorer. Wealth generation should never stop. So which means that no matter how rich you are, the engine room that is producing wealth for you, if you do not work to keep it at that standard and even better, you are sacrificing maybe yourself or the next generation or the 2 or the 3rd generation. Then somebody at that stage who is making a lot of money would wonder, maybe I don't need it. It's still for that person, because you may have been earning money in a way where you may have left wealth velocity out of it, which in my book I practically and even mathematically prove it through the wealth equation that I propose. So I give an example where somebody may have value, the person will have time, and may even have leverage with fair exchange, and that person will not reach the same height as somebody with wealth velocity. The man without leverage will not reach the same height. So what it means is that your wealth generation model you are using today, this is also equally for the rich. What about the poor? Definitely is also for the poor, because you are taught step by step how to generate wealth. In that same way, this book teaches you, 1, how to build wealth. It teaches you how to accumulate wealth. So if you have built enough and you still don't know how to accumulate wealth, then there is a problem. How do you accelerate wealth? So it means that you are doing well, but this book will teach you with that multiplying effect, with that catalyst, how you can move from level 2 straight to level 10. And it would show you how you can grow exponentially instead of sequential manner. So you can move in that manner instead of moving from 1, 2, and 3. We talk about wealth management. I have seen the rich become poor. I have seen the mighty fall. What actually happens? A lot happens. So building wealth is not enough. Accumulating it is not enough. even accelerating it is not enough if you don't know how to manage it. And definitely I talk about how to protect your wealth. And there is something in our part of our world protection, where so many people don't even want to talk about insurance. A lot of people don't want to talk about their hard-earned money and how they protect it. They don't even want to talk about how they transfer and distribute their wealth. People don't want to talk about their wealth. They don't want to talk about life insurance. They feel it's a bad omen to plan if I die. But let me tell you something. As bad things happen to good people, sometimes you have no understanding. And for those of you who are listening who are even religious, sometimes it's even the testing of faith of the righteous. Job in the Bible experienced it. And a lot of people experience it where bad things happen to good people. COVID has taught all of us that force majeure can happen at any time. And when these contingencies, unforeseen contingencies, when they do happen, what is your buffer? What is your contingent plan? Do you have an emergency plan? So in the book, I teach about savings fund. I talk to you about the different forms of expenses. I talk about income, passive, active, portfolio income. I mention whammy expenses, periodic, variable, fixed expenses. I explain all that. I explain how budgeting can change your life in your management. Instead of asking yourself, how come at the end of the month I have nothing in my pocket? You can now know exactly where each CD or dollar or naira or pounds, where it went to. I make it as practical as possible. The models I give them, the frameworks I give them, the guide I give them. But the most important thing is that you don't need to be a finance expert. So who is this book for? This book is for the experts. This book is for the novice. But most importantly, this book is for the hungry. Someone who wants a better life for himself, herself, and that of his dependents and the generation to come. So whether rich or whether poor, this is a book for you. So this is not a book you read in 2 weeks and you drop it on the shelf. This is a book you read and you come back to it again and again and again and again. And that is the reason why I'll be looking forward to hearing from you through the emails and through my website. And I'll be more than pleased to have an interaction with you and to take it beyond the book and see how best your life will be fully changed. One thing that I can tell you, you know that wealth is no longer a mystery from reading this book. You know that wealth is a possibility from reading this book. You know that wealth is practical from reading this book, because I'm showing to you theoretically, practically, even mathematically that it is possible. Now, the ball is in your court. It is up to you to make it happen, and I'm sure and confident you will.